the moment I start saying that things are going good or something is going very easy or it is whatever is very fine, things start going stupid. That always happens. But doesn't matter. One small error, actually, very minor thing. Now I've documented it over here. So what has happened is, while this is being run, the test script, there's one option which is to be used, which is no dropout. So if you don't use that, then it'll start giving you errors, and it'll give you some unit skip connection block. It'll go and block over there, and it is not necessarily blocking, but it is the code is just exiting after it prints that unit skip connection block. And if you start looking for this error and you think that it's got something to do with this particular unit skip connection block, that will take you down the wrong this thing. So that is what happened with me also. So firstly, let me focus on what this unit skip connection block is. So unit is the unit architecture, the U-shaped architecture, and skip connection is one of the blocks in that. And luckily or unluckily, there'll be a lot of repositories and architectures for GANs, and especially for pix to pix and uh, similar GANs, which will be using this particular block. So if you start searching, like I did, that will take you to many different which you don't really want to do. It'll take you to whole lots of. Okay, so I'll come to this. What exactly this is? But this was the error. Okay, so the error says attribute unit skip connection block object has no attribute one. So I'm still not clear as to what this really means. Which attribute is it checking? And it is saying does not have attribute one. Um, but this is basically unit submodule with skip connection. Okay, and these are the issues I've already checked. Then checked many other repos, and checked whole lot of other things. So I'll come to all of this later on. This is where it prints. Okay, so this is how this is happening. And when this is happening, what is it that you're trying to do on the terminal? So this is what you're trying to do on the this is what you're trying to do on the terminal. You're running that Python test, and you're giving it the data root, which is okay. The facades data set, and then direction B to A. Now you are generating from, so A to B is the default. But now what you're doing is you're generating from B to A. So what does that look like? That looks like this. So B is on the left side. B is basically the real image, right? And the one on the right, it says fake. So the fake one is basically the generated one. So if you zoom in, this is what you get to see, right? So this is the generated one. And just to keep it real, what I'll do is I'll close this. I'll go to that particular, yeah, and I'll just create one more. So one more directory quickly created, and move these images and this index within this directory, and come out of here, and let's run it again. And let me call this it's 2100. Okay, so doesn't matter. So the serial number of the log file doesn't really matter. So yeah, so this is what it is. So what it will end up doing is, it's ran that test.py code. So let's go to test.py. Let's walk through test.py to try and understand what is happening. And before we go to test.py, let's look at these two options: base options and test options. Okay, so this is the base options class, which has been subclassed over here. So in test options, they've subclassed this, and so these are simple. Where you want the results, aspect ratio, phase do you want as test, or so this side I can actually remove this phase, and I think still it runs, right? So if I give an empty string over here, still it will run because I've gone and changed the code where it was using this phase, because otherwise it was creating one extra directory called test, which we don't really need. We don't need that. So if we go and look at any of the logs from earlier also, let's say I look at this, yeah, and I go and look at uh, phase, yeah. So we don't really need this. This is not required. I've ran this earlier also, and we don't need the phase, right? So I've left it as blank. And this phase is used as a subdirectory to be concatenated, and that to be created somewhere, which I just went and changed the code. So that is okay. We don't have to really bother about this. Uh, so, okay, coming back to the test option. So this is the test options. Then eval mode, okay. Num test, how many images? Default is 50. I've been using 10, 1, something like that. Model again, they've given test. You can have pix to pix. You can have different models over here. We'll just see how that works. And some of these earlier ones, if you look at this, this is basically it. So net D is the discriminator, and net G is the generator. Yeah, and so a model, this is the default value which is their test. You can have, yeah, so over here you can have model test. This is okay. This one's fine. But make sure you have no dropout. If you don't have no dropout, then you get into the same issues that I had been struggling with. So, and this can go up. You can take it up to 50. 50 is what they're doing. I don't want to go beyond 50. So, okay. And again, over here, again, this is ResNet, and this one was again ResNet 9 blocks, ResNet 9 blocks. So what exactly is this ResNet 9 blocks? Okay, it starts here. It says module ResNet generator, and then model is sequential, right? And then there are ResNet blocks, ResNet block. So there are 9 of them actually. Ah, this says 2 because over here on top I've just put a placeholder to basically explain this. So we say seen below there are 9 ResNet blocks. First ResNet block starts at this. This is the first ResNet block, and we can go down to the last one. So the 18. Okay, ResNet block. Acha, the other thing that needs to be seen over here is the moment this ResNet block starts, the first this thing is the convolution block, and then you have sequential, and then within sequential you have I think 7 different layers in most of them. Below sequential, sorry, eight different layers in most of them. Okay, now when you print the state dict, okay, so in state dict, firstly how many models are there? Okay, so model dot something it will say, and it will have a number over there. So what is this? Model 1, model 2. Okay, so how many are there? I think if I remember correctly, around 18 of them are there. Sorry. State dict. Okay, so if I remember correctly, okay, sorry, 26 of them are there. So, how do you understand this state dict and this convolution block? Okay, so let's break it up over here so that we can come back to this. Let me just put a placeholder. I say foo bar, okay, for the heck of it. Uh, and what I want to do is I want to look at this con block. So, hmm, con block with model 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, and then it stops at 10. So model 8 does not have a con block, which is okay. So again, foo bar here. Uh, hmm. And we'll take this foo bar up with us, and we'll go to again where we have the resonate blocks. So I hope this makes some sense right now, because the 10th model is a resonate block which has a convolution block in it, and the 11th one also same, and it will go till 18th. Okay, so here is it. And the 19th one does not has a convolution block, and neither does the uh, ninth one or the 8th one. Now, wherever it says ReLU, 3, 6, and 9, I think these are the ones which will be missing down there. So it will not be tracked over there, right? In the next summary, which is the state dict, these ReLU blocks are not tracked, but we'll just leave the foobar here so that we can come back to it and maybe, okay. Now again, going to the foobar down there and trying to make sense of this. So till model 8 we have, then 7 we have, 6 is missing, okay, and 3 is missing, and 9 is missing. Okay, go back here. So 9 is ReLU, 6 is ReLU, and 3 is ReLU. So these ReLUs don't get printed when we print the state dict. Okay, so this doesn't come out as a model. I really don't know why. But this is what I've observed, and I'm sharing it with you. And I'll get into more details on this later on. And then you have the resonant block. So this is the first resonant block, and it has a convolution block. So you'll have to note this number of the resonant block. It says 10, right? The moment it says 10 and this one says 11, we can again go down to the foobar and basically wherever we marked our yeah. So this starts off with 10, and this will go down in a continuous manner. 11, uh, then 12, 13, 14. It will go down till 16, 17, 18. Yeah. And the moment 18 finishes, 19 does not have a convolution block. Okay. And that is what we observe here also when we go up. Uh, the last resonate block, which is 19, no, the last resonant block, which is 18, has a convolution block, and 19 does not have a convolution block. So model 19 onwards, there is no convolution block. Then again, we have ReLU on 21, so I'm presuming that will be missed in that state dict. And again, we have ReLU on 24. Again, I'm presuming that would be missed on the state dict. So okay, this is the model summary or the model architecture for the resonate generator. Similarly, you have for yeah, this is resonant 9 blocks. So over here again, resonant 9 over here. Again, resonant 9. So I'm looking for one which does not have resonant 9, which will have mm, UNet. Okay, so the UNet architecture I want to have a look at, but I have not printed that here. So what we can do is we can print the UNet now. Let's got printed somewhere, but I'm not able to find that out. So we can print the UNet now and have a look. So this one says model test. Test will get you. I want. I want pix to pix. Pix to pix will probably get me the unit. Goodness, I've forgotten that here. This is wrong. Uh, I think the pix to pix will get me the unit. It'll just take a minute. We'll just run it and let's see. Um, so 2130. So has this got me the unit? Yeah, unit. Okay. So it says unit 256, and we go down here. So these are again my prints, which are coming from one of their files. I'll go to this later on. I'll go to this later on. But for now, what we want to do is you get to see this unit generator. So the module is unit generator, and again, the very first block is unit skip connection block. And with this unit skip connection block, we will end up breaking the code. Okay, here is where we end up breaking the code. So that state date gets printed, or 26 models get printed over there, state date like earlier. But when you start printing the info from this info is coming from uh, the base models. Okay, when you start printing this line, line 177, so I just put this info print over here. When you start printing this line, it breaks on that particular line of code. Okay, it gives you that error. And this error, no dropout. If we use no dropout, we should be able to get over this error. But I just want to document this. I'm not very sure because I did not run the unit with no dropout. So let me, for the heck of it, let's just put it okay on top here. And say mm, 10 and no dropout. Okay, and let's change this. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, 2135. 2135. Did this run? No, it's not running. So anyway, on some of these issues over here, right? So these guys are mentioning that you can end up utilizing that, but doesn't seem to work. Yeah. So somewhere here, I think they're mentioning, but that doesn't seem to work. So there is something which is not okay. So even I created this. So I said this is what I'm trying to do. Uh, yeah, but the resonate is working. So resonate is working, but unit is not working. Unit is still giving errors with that dropout also. So I'm sure there is something for unit also which is there, but doesn't seem to be the case right now. Okay, this is what we got. This is results right now, which is okay, good enough, quite impressive actually. So trying to get into the details of this, how this is being done, and understanding the unit architecture uh, and the resonate architecture that they are using, trying to do that now. Uh, so, like I said, this base model is where most of the action is happening, and this file I need to understand further. And so yeah, that's about it. Besides that, what else did I want to share? Yeah, their overview, this needs to be gone through properly. They have given quite a lot of detail over here, so this needs to be done. And yeah, I think that's it. Besides that, things are simple. Besides that, there is not uh, much happening here. Mm, so yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Bye.